Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Pinterest webinar. I'm so excited that you all are here. I'm going to introduce to you who we have on our special webinar. So Melanie Duncan, she has become a great friend of mine. So I'm really excited to have Melanie on the webinar right now. And Melanie is the founder of the Entrepreneurist Academy, which is an online training site that teaches thousands of women across the world how to start and grow online businesses. But gentlemen, don't worry. She's got things for you. So Melanie started her first business in college, and after struggling with trying to figure out how to get customers using the old way of marketing, she immersed herself in learning everything about online marketing, from SEO and pay-per-click to social media. Well, within a year, she went from having a business in debt to having a successful national brand. Now Melanie owns several successful online businesses that produce over $2 million in annual revenue. Now, her businesses have been featured in New York Magazine and on top television shows like ABC's Good Morning America and NBC's The Nate Berkus Show. She's an international award-winning speaker and a leading expert on how to use social media's hottest new platform, Pinterest, for business. She lives in her favorite city in the world, New York City, and effectively manages her Southern California-based businesses remotely. Melanie, are you there?
I'm here, Amy. Can you hear me all right?
I can. Thank you so much for being here. I'm truly excited for tonight's webinar.
Oh my gosh, I've been looking forward to this all week. You know, I have a little secret, and nobody tell, but Amy has the best audience. So whenever I get the opportunity to present to her audience, I am just so excited, and I've put together a lot of really good information, and we're going to have a lot of fun today.
Fantastic. I know you have a lot to cover, so I'm just going to let you take it from here.
All right. Thanks, Amy. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Melanie Duncan. I'm going to be your Pinterest guide for the next hour or so, and I'm thrilled to be here. I just want to ask, type in the chat box a yes or no if you've ever been on a webinar with me before. I know that Amy and I have done a few in the past. I just want to get a feel for who's new, who's here for the first time. Okay, great. So I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces, but also a ton of new people. Not no people, new people. I was reading your responses. So welcome to everyone that's here. I want to let you know that, I'm here for you today. So any questions that you have, I'm happy to take them at the end of the presentation. Anything you want to know about getting started with Pinterest or any of the new changes, I'm at your disposal. But I want to hear from you a lot during the presentation. So this is not one of those webinars where you just get to sit back and listen to me ramble on for an hour. There's a lot of different touch points where I'm going to need your feedback, your ideas, and your information so that I can provide you the best level of information and the best level of service when it comes to you and your particular industry. So that being said, let's get this party started right. I want you to type in the chat box on a scale of 1 to 10 how well you feel you understand using Pinterest for business. A 1 being hardly at all, a 10 being, Melanie, move over, girlfriend. I could teach this webinar. I've got Pinterest down for business. Okay, great. So I'm seeing lots of different numbers coming in. Wonderful. If you're a 1, there's no shame. Heck, if you are a -5, don't worry. We're going to be covering the basics today, as well as some really advanced strategies and some really recent updates that Pinterest has just unveiled, like talking about the new look, talking about how you can start using their free analytics tracking tool. We're going to be talking about secret boards, something that are so secret most people don't even know about them. So you're in good hands tonight as we talk about how to use Pinterest to drive tons of traffic, to get more customers, and even, that's right, how to use Pinterest to improve your SEO or your search engine optimization, basically how you can get your website or your Pinterest page ranked in Google, Yahoo, Bing, all those good search engines. So here's what you're going to learn. We're going to discuss specific strategies to get you the biggest amount of impact in the shortest amount of time. I'm also going to be addressing some of the biggest myths and misunderstandings when it comes to using Pinterest for business. And there are a ton of these, so I want to make sure that we go over this. I'm also going to teach you what most people are doing totally wrong when it comes to using Pinterest for their business. and how you can successfully integrate your Facebook and your Pinterest marketing. Not a lot of people know this about me, but I use Facebook just as much as I use Pinterest for my businesses, and I'm going to show you what I do. I've even got a surprise bonus for you at the end, so make sure you don't duck out early because you will not want to miss this. But real quickly, here's my story. My story when it comes to Pinterest. The truth is I completely stumbled upon Pinterest marketing. And you know what? Let's just open it up. Let's be real honest with each other. Just go ahead and write a yes or no if you're kind of skeptical about Pinterest, because I know I was, particularly for my service-based business. I thought, okay, how am I really going to use Pinterest to sell more of my services? Anyone in here that's a little skeptical? We've got a lot of wonderful, warm-hearted people that aren't skeptical, but if you are a little skeptical, I was in the beginning as well. But the truth is that I'm a business owner with multiple profitable online businesses, both product and service-based, who's developed some really great Pinterest marketing strategies that kind of took me by surprise, but I'll be telling you more about that in just a minute. What happened was that I tried out some ideas just out of the blue early on, and they worked. In fact, they started working so well for me that I started calling up my friends and teaching them what I was doing, and the word got out. But the truth is that they're working so well for me, and it's working so well for the other people I've shared them with, I'm pretty darn sure they're going to work well for you too. It's not just some fluke thing that has only worked for me. The strategies that we're going to be discussing in today's webinar have worked for thousands of business owners in a variety of industries, so I want to make sure you pay attention. But here's the disclaimer. I always like to share this. I'm probably one of the only people who teach Pinterest marketing that actually make money by using it and not just by selling courses on it. I've been very blessed. The reason I think Amy has me to present to all of her wonderful audience is because these aren't just theories I'm throwing around. These are actual hard strategies. So what I'm going to do is pull back the curtain of my businesses and show you what actually works. These are no numbers that, I read somewhere or something I heard might possibly be working. These are real things that I'm doing in my product and service-based businesses, and I want to show you. So for those of you that were, in the ones or zeros, we were talking about where you are with Pinterest marketing, just a brief overview. We'll go super fast. But what Pinterest is a virtual pin board that helps you organize and share interesting things that you find on the web. And just picture it as a virtual version of that cork board that maybe you have above your desk where you tear out great articles or inspiring photos or products that you'd like to buy. That's exactly what Pinterest is, just a virtual version. But what makes it a social network is that people pin images from other sites onto Pinterest, where then other people can repin those onto their boards. So it's a social network because not only are you collecting and pinning things that you find helpful or useful, inspiring things you want to buy, but you can also see what other people pin too, which makes it really fun, right? So we love to follow our friends and other brands to see what they're up to. But why Pinterest, and particularly why right now as a business owner? Well, first of all, it is extremely viral. In fact, over 80% of pins are repins, which means your exposure goes on autopilot. And just a little sneak peek for you about the new free analytics tool. Pinterest just recently, literally just a few days ago, released an analytics tool, and it allows you to see what pins are being repinned, what pins are the most clicked, how much traffic Pinterest is sending to your website. I'm going to show you in a few slides how you can use Pinterest analytics. But the truth is, I know the statistic to be true because I went in and looked at my analytics, and even if I just had one or two things pinned from my website within a day or so, I was still getting a ton of repins and a ton of impressions just from one or two things being pinned because the website is so viral. But this is exciting because it means less work for you, less updating, less social media maintenance, and more people doing the circulation for you. And due to its simple visual nature, people are clicking through to sites more, which is what's making it such an excellent traffic referral source. And if you've been on Pinterest, you know this to be true, right? When you're on Pinterest, there's not a bunch of chat boxes or ads or notification. It's very, very simple, which is why it's referring so much traffic. People are really paying attention to what's in front of them, and that is powerful. But something I particularly get very excited about, and that you should get excited about too, is there's still an opportunity to get there first and to become a leader in your industry. If you really want to differentiate yourself, You need to be one of those action takers that's out there adapting new opportunities and new platforms, not someone that's just kind of sticking their head in the sand when a new opportunity pops up. And I can tell just by the fact that you are all here today, you are the type of people who are open to opportunities, that are open to new ways to grow your businesses. And for that, I really commend you. That's a very important trait to be successful. So here's what the experts are saying about Pinterest. Well, first of all, they had 10 million unique visitors, faster than any other independent website in history. Super, super cool. Also, Pinterest is now driving traffic to websites, or more traffic to websites, than YouTube, Google+, and LinkedIn combined. I mean, this is a serious traffic driving powerhouse. It's in fact now driving more traffic than Twitter and Bing. This is huge. As well as the fact that there are well over 10 million Facebook connected users. So there's a lot of people that are using Facebook and Pinterest together, and that is a very exciting opportunity. So some breaking news, and I put this slide in here because, like I said, there might be a few people who are a little skeptical, but also for those of you business owners that are excited about Pinterest, I want you to have the stats and the information. You know, Pinterest beat Yahoo organic traffic, making it the 4th largest traffic driver worldwide. And there's still a lot of myths floating around about Pinterest. A lot of people saying, oh, that's just some silly site for, blogs or for, recipes or crafts, do-it-yourself. That's not a real business opportunity. 4th largest traffic driver worldwide. That is something that you cannot afford to not pay attention to as a business owner. In fact, people are saying that Pinterest is looking like the future of e-commerce. And I want you to take a look over here to this area that I circled in red. So you can see this is showing the average order value when a user follows through on a purchase on a product seen on social media. So around $68 if they see a product on Twitter, around $80 if they see a product on Facebook, but around $179 when they see a product from Pinterest. So this is meaning that the order value is much larger from people who are on Pinterest. Now you might be thinking, well, wait, you can't say anything bad about Facebook. This is Amy Porterfield we're talking about here. And I completely agree. I am not here to say that Facebook is not important for your business. The truth is, I use Facebook just as much as I use Pinterest, but I use them differently. And that's why I'm really glad that you're here today, because I want you to understand Facebook is still a very vital tool for your business, for building relationships, Facebook ads. There's lots of things that Pinterest doesn't have. But people are shopping on Pinterest, and people are spending a lot of money on Pinterest. And that is money that you should not be missing out on. Those are clients and customers that you should be in front of. In fact, over 80% of the top 15 Pinterest categories are connected to commerce. And you can see on the screen right here, the top 15 commerce-driven categories on Pinterest. And breaking news, we're seeing that Pinterest is generating more revenue per click than Facebook, and also Pinterest users are twice as likely to purchase than Facebook users. And I'm sure that Amy has a lot of opinions on why this might be. I have ideas too, but I think the reason is Facebook is still an incredible platform to be building a brand. Don't hear me wrong, but Pinterest is a place where people are shopping, and because of that, I want to show you how to get your products and your services in front of them. Over 70% of people say that they use Pinterest to get inspiration on what to buy. 70%. Again, I'm telling you this because it's very important for you to see the opportunity and to see the buying and purchasing activity of people on Pinterest. So let's talk a little bit about our challenges. It's easy for me to get all worked up and passionate because I've personally experienced the transformation within my business with using Pinterest. But about a year ago, it wasn't like that. And, Amy was so lovely and wonderful in introducing me and talking about, she's got multi-million-dollar businesses and she's been on Good Morning America and Nate Berkus and all this good stuff. And you're probably thinking, great for her. Awesome. That's great. But what about me, right? I'm having a hard time getting my products and services the exposure and the sales that they deserve. Well, trust me, I have been there. I am not above struggling to effectively market my business. In fact, Pinterest was something that took me totally by surprise when I was in kind of a low point, when I was really having a hard time getting my products in front of the right audience. But I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. But a lot of us let's be real. And maybe I'm just putting myself out there a little too much because I'm supposed to be, this very excited social media expert talking to you, right? Well, let me tell you this. I sometimes feel completely overwhelmed by social media. And I want you to type in the chat box just a yes or a no. Does anyone else feel overwhelmed by social media? Am I the only person out there? Because for me, managing my businesses, it seems like a lot, right? I mean, I don't have a social media manager. I'm the one updating my Facebook, updating my Pinterest, trying to link Twitter to things so I'm active on all. And then when Pinterest came out, I thought, oh, great. I'm already spending too much of my time on social media. Now there's a whole new platform that I have to learn. So I'm going to be teaching you some ways to combat this. And actually what I teach, it takes just around an hour a week on Pinterest to get these types of results. So don't think that I'm going to leave you with some huge to-do list and tell you Pinterest has to take over your life. It's quite the contrary. I'm a business owner with not enough hours in a day, just like the rest of you here. And if you feel right now you're not sure how to use Pinterest for business, we're going to be addressing that too. What are the different ways? Maybe a lot of you have used Pinterest personally, but you haven't gotten to the point where you're using it for business, and you want to know about that divide. How to use it differently? How should your account be set up differently? I'm going to be covering that in detail as well. So if you're frustrated, if you're overwhelmed, I hear you. You are not alone, and we're going to be combating and talking about some strategies for all of this today. So here's my quick little story about my breakthrough. So I launched a home decor company almost 2 years ago now. Time goes by fast, doesn't it? And I was having a really, really hard time getting a consistent stream of qualified traffic to my site. Can I get an amen? Anyone else out there having a hard time getting traffic to their site? Because I was trying to do pay-per-click. It wasn't working. I was using Facebook, but I wasn't really seeing the results I wanted. And I was kind of out of ideas. I was trying to figure out if maybe this wasn't a good idea, doubting my offerings, doubting my brand, when in fact, just in the nick of time, and I know it sounds silly, but this is the way it happened. One week I started getting more orders than usual. And the truth is I have it set up on my cell phone so that I get a little email every time someone orders. And I was walking around, I was going for a walk in Central Park. I live in New York City with my husband. And it was a beautiful day, and I remember looking at my phone, and there were a bunch of orders. I thought, wow, this is a good day, but didn't think much about it. And the next day, same thing happened, more orders than usual. So I thought, okay, this is too crazy. Good problem to have, right? And I went and logged on to my Google Analytics, and I was completely shocked to see that all of a sudden Pinterest had started referring a good amount of traffic to my site. Now, nothing crazy, not millions of people or anything like that, but at this point, I wasn't even paying attention to Pinterest, and because other people had already started pinning a few things for my site, I was getting traffic. So what do you think I did? Heck, I hopped on that bandwagon so fast it would make your head spin. So what I did is I started testing and researching and putting all of my time into figuring out how I could optimize this new platform of Pinterest. And I'm thrilled to report to you that with my background in online marketing, I was able to develop some strategies that really worked. And in fact, Pinterest started sending thousands of new people and thousands of dollars in sales to my website every single month. So I want to teach you these strategies I developed and what I suggest you do to increase traffic and sales from Pinterest to your site as well. Does that sound good to everyone? Okay, great. So what I want you to do is go ahead and write this down, because we're now going to jump straight into a two-part strategy to integrate Pinterest into your marketing. And the first thing that you need to do, it's non-negotiable. If you have your own website, you've got to add the pin it button to your site. I suggest putting it below your products. If you have products that you sell, put it on your product pages so that people can pin and share these products with their followers. I also suggest if you're a realtor, actually putting it below your real estate listings. And I want to have you type in the chat box right now. Go ahead and type in the chat box and let me know what sort of business you have. What sort of business is your, or what sort of industry is your business in, so that I can go ahead and provide you different examples. Wonderful. So lots of people in real estate, photography, Tupperware, handmade products, food, art. Great. So a great variety of everyone. Perfect. So I want to give you all some specific examples as we go through these strategies. So something I do, if you're a service-based business owner, you probably have a website where you have some content or maybe some videos, some ebooks, things like that. Well, what I do on my service-based website is I make sure to have the pin it button on each one of my images. And this is my website, melanieduncan.com, if you want to go and look for an example of this. But I actually have the pin it button. So every one of my images, and I'm going to show you particularly how I made this image and why this image gets so many pins. But anyways, you can see the social proof is pretty cool too, because it'll show me, it's very, very tiny, so if you can't see it, don't worry, but it actually shows 73 people have pinned this. And if you look now, it's probably been updated since then, but it's kind of cool as social proof to see how many people are pinning stuff from your site as well. Additionally, it just reminds people to pin things that they're finding interesting, and every time they pin something from your website, it then shows to all of their followers on Pinterest. So you want to get other people pinning stuff from your site, not just you. And here's a pretty cool trick. I want you to write this down. You can actually go to pinterest.com/source/ whatever your business name is. So I just put luxury monograms. That's my product-based business as an example here. But you just put whatever your website domain name is after /source, and you can actually see what's already been pinned from your site. This is pretty cool. And the reason this is so powerful is because you want to start understanding what people are responding to in terms of content on your site. What are they pinning? Because that'll give you an idea of what else you should create or where else you should be putting pin buttons to get that engagement. Now, if you see an error message when you type that in, it's simply because there's probably nothing that's been pinned from your site yet. So don't worry. I'm going to be giving you some ideas how to get more people to pin from your site as well. But I'm going to take a drink of my water, and I want to make sure you all write down this URL because that's really essential marketing information to have at your fingertips. All right, everyone got that? Perfect. So let's jump into part 2 of the strategy. And this is actually my favorite part to teach because it's something that most people aren't realizing, and this is what has gotten me the most drastic results. And that is actually to create a Pinterest account for your business. And just type in the chat box a yes or no. How many of you have a business page on Pinterest, an actual business account? If you don't, I'm going to walk you through how to set it up. But it looks like a lot of you do, which is great. But if you don't yet, you definitely want to go ahead and convert to a business account because it's one of the 3 steps you have to do to be able to use their analytics tool. But what's really cool is that when you have a Pinterest account for your business, research shows us that people like brands better and also are more likely to buy after viewing a Pinterest page. So here's what you need to do. If you don't already have a business account, you haven't set up or converted to a business account, I want you to go to business.pinterest.com. And you can go there right now, or you can just write that down and go there after the presentation if you don't want to miss anything. But business.pinterest.com is so cool. And I don't think enough people talk about it because this is an entire business resource center that Pinterest has created for business owners. And so they've got case studies, they've got all kinds of tools, they've got a help center where you can actually submit emails if you need help with something, and most people don't even know it exists. But for the purpose of what we're talking about right now, this is where you can go to either convert a personal account to a business account without losing any followers or anything like that, but it's also a place you can go to if you want to just create a whole new, brand new Pinterest account for your business. Now, a few pros and cons. I know a few of you are asking, what are the pros and cons? Should I do this? Can I convert? The truth is there's really no con to switching over to a business account. The pro is that if you just choose to convert your existing personal account, you don't have to miss out on any followers. You already probably have a lot of content on your page, which is a good start. So I suggest if you already have a page, just go ahead and convert it to a business account. But I want to let you know you can have as many Pinterest accounts as you want. I have 3. I have a personal one. I also have 2 for my 2 different businesses. So you can also set up additional accounts if you want to keep your personal one personal and you just want to start with a fresh slate with a business account. So I can see there's a few questions coming in. I'm hoping I answered those. Yes, you can absolutely have both. Just go ahead and decide whichever makes the most sense for you. If you've already put a lot of time and energy into your first account, you might want to just go ahead and convert that so you don't lose the momentum. But if you're starting from scratch anyways, just set up a new account and go ahead and use that. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about is actually after you have joined or you have converted a business account is you want to set up your account properly. And what's important here is you're going to be asked the business type to select. And a lot of people go, oh my gosh, Melanie, am I a professional? Am I a media? Am I a brand, a retailer? You know, they made some kind of funny categories here, but the truth is, it does not matter. It really, there's no reason that one, categorization over another is going to do anything great or bad for you. So don't sweat the small stuff. Just choose whatever seems to make the most sense for you. You know, they've got a few examples of what each of these might be, but just choose one, move on, because that's not that important. But what is important is this About section. And this is where you have 160 characters. Yes, this is a new update. You used to have 200 characters, but now you have 160 characters to basically describe your business. And this is so important because this is going to be at the very top of your Pinterest profile, and it's also very important for keywords. Remember we were talking about SEO? So if you want your Pinterest page with your website to appear as a top result in search engines, you've got to use the keywords that you want to appear for in this area. So if you sell real estate in La Jolla, make sure it says something about real estate in La Jolla here. If you sell jewelry, make sure it says something about jewelry and earrings or whatever your best sellers are, that type of stuff. Because when people are searching on Pinterest and when people are searching on Google or Bing or Yahoo, any of those search engines, they are pulling information, and this About area is one of the top places they're going to look to see if you're a relevant result. And for those of you that don't know a lot about search engine optimization, what's cool is that it's much easier to get your Pinterest page ranked than your website. The reason being is Google already has a huge crush on Pinterest. Google already knows Pinterest is a serious site. So they want to suggest Pinterest more than our regular websites because we might not have, or we probably don't have, let's be honest with ourselves, the same amount of rank and the same amount of traffic that Pinterest is getting. So make sure that you're putting keywords in this About section. Now you don't want to put any links or anything like that. That's where you're going to put your website right below here. Okay, so after you join or convert your website, you will get taken to this page where they're going to have a few action items for you to go through. Now the first thing, and this is very important as well, is to verify your website. And just type in the chat box a yes or a no. How many of you have already verified your website? Have you done this? When you verify your website, you'll see a big check mark next to your website link at the top of your profile. Okay, so a lot of you have. Good for you. You know what? You guys are smarter than I am because I tried to go through the instructions to verify my website, which they'll show you if you click verify. They'll walk you through how to do it. But it involves some HTML code and some meta tags, which, to be honest with you, I am not the techiest person. My husband could tell you that. So what I did is I just emailed my graphic designer who does all of our stuff on our site and just said, hey, can you verify this? And he went ahead and did it within a few minutes. So it was easy for him, but you can always contact your hosting or your programmer or graphic designer. They can do it for you. But there's also a special section inside of the Business Center. It's actually, if you go to business.pinterest.com/verify, they have a whole help center dedicated to walking people through how to verify their website. So again, if you go to business.pinterest.com/verify, they will walk you through, and there's even like a help desk where you can submit stuff if you need help doing this. But this is step 2. Remember we talked about converting your business account and actually verifying your website is the second step in order to use the Pinterest Analytics tool, the tool that will let you track your most popular pins, that will show you how much traffic you're getting from your website, how many impressions. And the third and final step to use Pinterest Analytics is you actually have to switch to the new look. And just type a yes or no. How many of you have switched to the new look on Pinterest? All right, so a lot of you have, some of you haven't. In order to switch to the new look, all you do is you go to the top right, kind of where I'm showing you right now, and you click on the drop down. It'll show you just switch to the new look. So you just click on the top right, click on switch to new look, and it'll change it over in like 30 seconds. It's super fast, but there's a lot of cool things about the new look, and I'm happy to talk about them more kind of towards the end of the presentation because I do want to teach you some strategies first, but it's great. I recommend switching to the new look, first of all, because you need to have that Pinterest Analytics tool. And as soon as you switch to the new look, you'll see when you go back up to the top right, analytics will drop down. You'll see analytics as an option in the drop down, and you just click on that and it opens up the whole analytics resource center for your website. So super easy to use, but you don't have that analytics option until you switch to the new look. So we'll talk about the new look a little bit later, but that's what you need to know to get started. Also, I told you we're going to give you some Pinterest and Facebook integration tips, right? Well, I want you to write this down. If you go to woobox.com/Pinterest, you can actually get a Pinterest tab for your Facebook page. And this is really cool because when you have a Pinterest tab for your Facebook page, it allows people to click on it, they can open it up, they can see what sort of boards you have created, they can follow you right then and there. And I highly suggest doing this because right now you still can't link a Pinterest account to a Facebook business page. You can link it to a personal page on Facebook under your settings tab, but in order to get exposure automatically, I suggest using the Pinterest tab on your Facebook page. So make sure you write that down, woobox.com/Pinterest. So you might be wondering, okay, so you told me how to create this business board, Mel, but what do you want me to put on it? Particularly if I'm a service-based business, what do you expect me to be pinning? And if I'm a product-based business owner, what am I supposed to pin besides my products? I'm going to give you a bunch of ideas, but what I want you to remember is you need to be focusing on original content. And here is what most business owners do wrong, and listen carefully. They set up a business page, and they pin a few things from their site, which is great, but what they do is what everyone else does, and that's repin all the content on the platform. Remember, we talked about 80% of pins are repins. So what most business owners do is they set up their business page and they just kind of start repinning stuff they see on Pinterest and stuff on the web. And the truth is they have very little of their own original content. And I had one client of mine call me up and go, you know, Melanie, I just don't think this Pinterest thing works. I'm not getting traffic. I'm not getting sales. And I said, okay, let's take a look at it. I pulled it up like, oh no, maybe this isn't going to work for her. But she had done just what I warned you about. She had created an account and had very little content that was even relevant to her business or her audience of her own. So you want to focus on original content. And the cool thing is when you have original content, you can link it anywhere you want. There's no copyright concern because it's your content. So you can link to your blog posts. You can send them directly to opt-in pages. That's right. I've used Pinterest to build my email list as well. You can take them straight to a product page for them just to check out and buy right then and there, and even just directly to your real estate listings. And if you have a YouTube channel, you can create some great video pins. I'm going to teach you how to pin videos and just send them directly to your YouTube channel. So we're going to jump straight in now and talk about strategies for powerful pins. And powerful pins are pins that get the most repins. They send the most traffic to your site. They get you the most qualified customers and clients to check out your products and services. And they also just get the most traffic in general, the most comments, the most engagement. So the first type I want to talk about is infographics. And infographics are highly viral on Pinterest, and they get a ton of clicks and repins, but they also provide value. They establish credibility, and they build a relationship with your audience. When you create an infographic, you look like you know what you're talking about, right? Not only do you have information at your fingertips, but even just creating an infographic looks pretty impressive, right? I mean, they always look very professional, very high-end, and well done. So I want you to take a look at this example on the far left. This is an infographic that a realtor created showing what renovations have the best resale value. So I know it's a little dark, but hopefully you can see it's just the outline of a house. And there's little data points showing which areas get the most return on investment. Now you can see down here, 115 repins. So another myth is that everything you put on Pinterest has to be super pretty. And that is false, because 9 times out of 10, it's useful information that gets the most engagement and the most social sharing. So you can see 115 people repinned this pin, meaning they introduced it to their audiences because they thought this was helpful information. So those of you realtors, think about, what type of information do my clients or my prospective buyers want to learn about? If you teach any sort of business or social media, look how cool this is, showing the social login and sharing and how it affects e-commerce. Now, let's be straight. We're all here to be very real with one another. How many of you think infographics look too hard to make? Just give me a yes or no. You're thinking, I understand that infographics probably are great, but that looks really hard to do. In fact, that looks expensive. I don't want to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars trying to work with a graphic designer to make. Okay, everyone brace yourself, because I'm about to rock your world. This is one of my favorite resources I've come across, and it's called Infogram. And I went ahead and I typed out the URL for you right here because it's kind of a funky spelling. It's infogr.am. It's called Infogram. And this site rocks my world. If any of you are thinking, I'm not techie enough to be using Pinterest, I don't have enough Photoshop skills, here's the truth. Either do I. Photoshop terrifies me. And I know there's a lot of you that are great on Photoshop, but I have found all of these free tools online to use that create stunning visual content and that do not require any technical skills. So I want to make sure that you check out Infogram, because what's cool is this is a site that has templates for infograms. So they already have it all designed for you. You just go in, you put in a couple, statistics or data points that you want, maybe a quote here or there. You can put an image. You can even put a video if you want inside your infographic. And then you just click save, or you can actually pin it directly from Infogram. And it makes these beautiful, high-quality infographics that take less than 5 minutes to put together. If you're super into data, maybe you're in the medical industry or finance or something like that, you can they have a little Excel sheet where you can type in data points and just save it, and they'll actually do pie charts, they'll do line graphs. You can make it as simple or as complicated as you want, but the truth is I have not found a better way to create infographics. And I really want to serve all of you today. This is great for Pinterest, but these are also awesome just to put on your blog. They're great to, put on your Facebook page, to send out in your emails. Infographics are very, very hot right now, and I want you to be able to capitalize on this and know that you can do it. So the second idea I have for you for pins, and again, this is for product and service-based businesses, is checklists. And I have the data now. Since using the Pinterest analytics tool, I have the data to back this up. Checklists are incredibly hot on Pinterest. So if you can create some sort of checklist that, somehow serves your audience, say that you're a realtor and you want to do the 5 things you should do before you ever list your home, or you're a photographer and you want to put together 5 different outfit ideas for your engagement shoot, something like that. This is a great way. People love checklists. And what's cool, if you want to get them to your site, here's what you do. You put something in the caption that says, click here to download the checklist. Because they see your checklist, but they're going to want to download it and print it out, right? So they can't do that just on Pinterest. This is a great way to get more people to your site where they can comment on your blog posts, read more of your stuff, check out your products. So I would suggest pinning your checklist, but then putting in the caption, click here to download and print out the checklist. Now, I want to ask all of you for some ideas. What is an idea that you have for what you could create a checklist about? Like I said, I know we have a wide range of business owners here in all different sorts of industries, but I want this to be like a live workshop for you. I want to get your creative juices flowing. I don't want you just sitting here listening, but I want you writing down ideas, having things to do. So I'm seeing tons of great stuff coming in. Jacqueline's sharing top 7 tips for your smartphone. Darlene's sharing things about, are you eating healthy? Keisha has how to plan an event, art materials, 10 ways to spa bliss. Tons of you have great, even Pinterest marketing checklists, business systems, wedding checklists. Oh my gosh, wedding checklists would be so, so popular on here. So obviously you guys are getting the point because I'm seeing tons of fantastic ideas rolling in. But I have to tell you, out of the content that I've tested, checklists have been one of the top things. So here's a secret for you. I haven't found any special, software to create checklists on. If you have one, feel free to post it in the chat box. So I'll definitely check it out. But most of the time, I just create a checklist in Pages. I have a Apple computer, and I just open up Pages, and I just kind of create some boxes. So I do a big rectangle, then I do a bunch of different little rectangles, and I write words next to it. You could do it in a Word document, but there's really no right or wrong way to do this. You could even do it on a PowerPoint slide. You just need to create a rectangle with some little square boxes inside of it and some text. It doesn't have to look as pretty as this. This is obviously, if you have Photoshop skills, this is a great looking checklist for an example to show you. But even just I created a checklist that was not pretty. I'm not a graphic designer. and it was still very, very successful. So I don't want you to be intimidated by anything like that. Okay, so here's a special tip I want you to pay attention to, and it has to do with the height of your pins. The taller your pin, the more amount of repins that it gets. So if you take a look over here, you can actually see that when a pin is more than 800 pixels in height, the amount of repins it gets starts to quadruple. They start getting a lot more repins. So if you do have tech skills, obviously when you're creating your images, try to make them taller than 800 pixels high. The maximum width you can have is like around, I think, 680 or 700 now in Pinterest. But here's what I do. Just as a rule of thumb, just always make your images taller than they are wider. When you're making a checklist, when you're making an infographic is already going to be taller than it is wider, just kind of by the nature of what it is. But whenever possible, whenever you're creating images or cropping images, just try to make them taller than they are wider. The taller the better, and you're set. Let's talk about tutorials. So both product and service-based businesses, tutorial pins see a 42% higher click-through rate, 42% more traffic to your site just by demonstrating how to do something. Now, if you sell a product, you could demonstrate how to use it, ideas or different unique ways to use it. And if you're a service provider, you could actually teach something, teach people how to do something. Different ways to do this visually. You know, you could go ahead and just do a bunch of images demonstrating how to do something. I love this fitness one where you can see they're actually illustrating the different types of exercises, the different muscle groups. But really what you want to focus on is teaching. You know, my whole underlying strategy here is about you want to provide the most amount of value possible to your audience. The more you give, the more you put out there, the more people will want to give back to you. And that's how I want to teach you to sell. You know, I'm not a salesy person. I don't like to go out there and tell you, you just got to sell, sell, sell. That doesn't feel right. But what does feel right is by providing so much value to your audience and to your marketplace that people want to do business with you because you have already shared and served them at such a high level of service. Pins with text. Here's what most people do. When they pin something from their blog, they just pin a picture of it, and it's really not that attractive. I mean, it really doesn't grab your eye or get your attention because it just looks kind of blah. But when you add text to your images, add a quick glance, and that's really all we have from people, right? It's just a quick glance to make an impression as a business owner. But now when you add text to your images, not only do people clearly understand what value is on the other side, but it's also a great way to kind of tease and get people's attention and pique their curiosity. I want you to take a look at this great pin, and this one went viral. It was just a picture of a camera and learn to use it across the top. Just a picture and learn to use it. You can see this was repinned over 133 times. Tons of people going out there sharing this because they wanted to learn more about photography. Great pin right here. Just an image with some text over it saying, seriously breathtaking Photoshop tutorials. Maybe you're a graphic designer and you want to draw up some new clients by teaching people a few things and then offering your services if they want to take things a step further. That is how you sell on Pinterest. And any of these pins can link directly to blog posts, to a YouTube channel. You can upload files from your computer and insert links and decide where you want to send that traffic. So here's my secret resource. If you want to add text to your images, but you're like me, you're a little bit scared of Photoshop, you can use a site called PicMonkey.com. And this is a free site. Again, they do have a pro feature if you want a lot of the extra bells and whistles that you can pay monthly for now. But PicMonkey.com is a site that you can just drag a photo into and add text in a bunch of different fonts, a bunch of different colors. They've got some cool boxes and overlays. You could probably make your checklist inside here as well, as long as you had a base photo to start off of. But this is one of my secret resources for when I need to make an image. Remember I showed you back a while ago on my blog, I had that picture of the 5 best business books over an image. I use PicMonkey. And I know Amy uses PicMonkey too, so I think we can both fully endorse and support you using PicMonkey as well. The 5th idea I have for you is to pin videos from YouTube. And the Hollywood film studio Lionsgate went from 200,000 to over 400,000 views in just 5 days by pinning their videos. And how you pin a video is you can go to YouTube, and as long as you have the pin it button in your browser, something that you'll be walked through how to do when you set up your business account, you just drag it and put it in your browser. You can pin any videos from YouTube or from Vimeo. So you can pin your own videos from your YouTube channel, but whatever you pin tends to have very high engagement. My videos are some of my top performing content on Pinterest because, first of all, they allow you to connect and relate and engage with your audience like nothing else. We all know how important video is. But additionally, your videos really stand out on Pinterest because not very many people are pinning them. So if you do have video content, this is your area for opportunity. This is your way to position yourself differently. And even if you don't want to film directly to camera, which can be pretty terrifying, right? I mean, both Amy and I have to do it, but I'm sure both of us would tell you you know, the first few times are pretty scary. You can use a site or a software called ScreenFlow. Just Google ScreenFlow. I think it's $99, and it allows you to record your screen. So if you don't want to be on screen, but you want to make a video and walk people through something or teach them how to do something with a PowerPoint presentation, you can just use ScreenFlow and still make great videos, upload them to YouTube, and pin them from there. Let's talk about captions real quickly. We've talked about a lot of ways that you can, do different types of images, but captions are very important. This information that you put below your pin. And the first thing that I want to tell you about is a CTA. And go ahead and type in the chat box, and that's right, Jay, great catch. If you don't have a Mac, Camtasia is the same as ScreenFlow if you have a PC. But I want you to type in there, Shan got it. Shan, a CTA is absolutely correct, a call to action. And I want you to know about this because call to actions actually increase engagement by 80% on Pinterest, 80%. So if you want to get more people to repin something or to comment below or to click here, tell them what you want them to do. So in every single one of your captions, you want to include some sort of a call to action. Additionally, keywords. In order to build backlinks for your site when there are items that are being pinned from your website, you want to include keywords. So you can see terms like market, business, video, YouTube. Those are all keywords for my pin, so that it's going to appear as search results when people are looking on Pinterest. But additionally, I can even have these pins ranked in search engines by including my keywords. So make sure to do that because a lot of business owners make the mistake of just putting a period in their caption or this is cool or just one or two words when really this is a huge missed opportunity to be able to really leverage the caption area that Pinterest is giving you. Now, I want to talk about hashtags. I know a few of you are curious about this. A hashtag really doesn't have any strong internal benefit for you. The reason some people use hashtags on Pinterest is just because what happens is when you're on Pinterest, if you click this, it'll then pull up all of the terms that have the word market. But you don't have to have a hashtag in order for your pin to appear as a search result. As long as the keyword is in the caption or in the board title, your pin will still appear. So it's more for a little navigation trick than anything else, but some people don't like it because sometimes if you have the hashtag, it'll get people to click away from your pin instead of staying and clicking through to your site. So just up to you to decide, but you don't have to use hashtags. And a few people are completely misinformed. They thought that with the new, and the hashtag is just this little grid mark. See that little grid in front of these terms? It's called a hashtag. People use them on Twitter and other social media. But you don't have to use hashtags. People think that with the new look you can't use links or hashtags. Totally wrong. You can still use links and hashtags. And let's talk about something else. Let's talk about price. Because the truth is, if you are selling any type of product, service, real estate listing on Pinterest, you want to have a price on it. Why? First of all, when you have a price, you're automatically added into the gift section on Pinterest. And you want to be in that gift section on the home page. Also, pins with prices get 36% more likes. And it makes sense when you really think about it. People are treating Pinterest like a very different type of platform. They're shopping on this. Imagine if you went to a website, you were looking at some cute shoes, and there was no product on the website. It'd be really frustrating, right? Well, people like prices on Pinterest. So make sure that you're adding prices to all of your pins. Now, how many of you, yes or no, know how to add prices to your pins? And also, I know pounds work. They have a little sign for euro. Whatever your currency is, you can test it out. A lot of them do work. Okay, so not a lot of you know. Some of you do, but if you don't know, All you have to do, I love it, John wrote, nope-a-rooney. Very nice, John. If you want to add a price to your pin, all you have to do is type the $ and the numeric value in the caption of your pin, and Pinterest will automatically add this great price banner in the top left, and you'll automatically be added to their gift section. Also links, like I said, and this does still work with the new look. Even I saw Mashable saying that it doesn't, but I checked it out today. They recently unveiled this and added it to the new look. You can still add links to your caption. So if you type in the URL, it'll automatically be hyperlinked. Just another way to get more traffic out of your pin. So like I told you, my secret traffic referral trick is to add call to actions, but something I do when I really want to make sure to drive a point home, and I don't do this on all of my pins, but on some of them, I will actually add something that looks like a button. You can do this on PicMonkey, but I'll actually add a little button-looking image, a little button graphic onto my main image to get people to click, because you want people to click on your image because that's what will take them to your website. So something that not very many people do, but that I found to be really successful, is to add that call to action, not just in the caption, but also in the image. So how many of you have heard of secret boards? Has anyone heard of secret boards on Pinterest? Okay, if a lot of you have, great. Well, I feel like it didn't get the attention that a lot of people have talked about, or that it deserves, because with any Pinterest account, personal business, you can make up to 3 boards that are totally secret. So they don't show to anyone, your pins don't show in the news feed, they can't see it on your profile. It's just kind of a cool resource to have, because maybe you're using your Pinterest account as a business owner, but there's some stuff you're not ready for it to be public. Or maybe there's some boards you're working on and you don't want them to appear until you're done, because you can also choose to make a secret board public. So if you start with a board that's secret, you can work on it, and then as soon as you're ready to publish it, you just switch it over to visible and you'll be able to see it. So when you add a pin to a secret board, it won't show up anywhere on Pinterest. It's completely secret. And all of your secret boards and pins are at the bottom of your profile. So if you want to see your secret boards, just scroll down. But there's tons of different ways you can use these. You can use them to collaborate privately with your team. You can also use them as a VIP board for your special clients. For upcoming launches or sales or promotions, you can work on content there, get ideas and inspiration. And like I said, just keep boards private until you're ready to publish them. I use some of my secret boards for product inspiration and creation. And I want to ask any of you, do any of you have ideas about how you're going to be using secret boards? Great. So people are saying for particular coaching or for top clients or new projects we potentially want to try. I love that. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about a few business case studies, and we're going to open it up for questions. But one of the businesses I want you to pay attention to is called Birchbox. And Birchbox is actually a cosmetic company, but I think what they've done with their Pinterest account is really exciting, because they created a TV channel on Pinterest. And I've done the same thing since seeing this, because I think it's so clever. So they created a board, and they titled it their brand TV, so Birchbox TV. And what they did is they only pin videos to this board. So you can see it's kind of little, but all of these have been pinned from YouTube, and they are just pinned directly to this Birchbox TV board. Now in these videos, they demonstrate how to use their products, they give you ideas for new ways to use the things that they sell, but they really just add a ton of value, and people love this. You can see they have over 48,000 followers, and this isn't that huge of a company, it's a relatively new brand. And so I still want to encourage all of you to think about ways that you can be using video, even if it's just on your iPhone or something. Great ways to be using video that you could create a video board on your Pinterest page. Now, if you're a service provider, this is a great way to create videos where you're talking about your offerings, telling more about yourself, educating your audience. But I think that it's wonderful, both product and service-based business owners. I also want to show you a brand called HubSpot. And this is a reason I show you HubSpot is because I know some of you are out there in more non-traditional Pinterest businesses, right? You're saying, Melanie, I don't sell shoes, I don't sell jewelry. Can this still work for my business? And I say yes. HubSpot in particular is a marketing software. So not something that in particular you would think is going to be really Pinterest friendly, right? Wrong. They have created an amazing Pinterest account. They have over 12,000 followers, And I want you to pay attention as a service-based business owner what they did. First of all, they have one board that's just comprised of their blog posts. They have another board they use for list building. Very cool. You should check this out. For list building, they have a bunch of ebooks or free reports that you click on, and it takes you to an opt-in page, a page where you put your name and your email address in, and they will actually send you the report or the ebook for your information. So great list building. They've got a board just for their webinars, for marketing infographics. They even got some great templates and behind the scenes, fun facts, inspiring quotes, lots of great ways to give customers value and a glimpse behind a brand at the real people. I love this example for service-based providers. So let's do a real quick recap. We've talked about that you've definitely got to add the pin it button to your site. If you have control over your website, this is very, very important. You also want to make sure to go ahead and install a Pinterest tab on your Facebook page. Make sure to create your own original content. This is going to be the tipping point for you. Don't be like the 80% and just repin, but be in that 20% of content creators to really maximize your results. You want to pin useful information like videos, infographics, tutorials, and how-tos. And make sure that your captions include call to actions, keywords, prices when applicable, and also links. So now you have a choice to make. You can either spend a ton of time and energy trying to figure out how to use Pinterest all by yourself, or you can take a shortcut. And you can let someone else give you the proven strategies so that you get better results faster and easier. And that's really my mission. My mission is to help you quickly and easily get more customers and more exposures from Pinterest. And I created an online course called The Power of Pinning that is all videos walking you through, same thing, what really, really works. How do you set up a business account? What should you be doing in your pins? How should you be leveraging the content on Pinterest to get you more traffic and sales? And I packaged that all together in a course that I've sold over 5,600, so over 5,000 different business owners in a variety of industry have gone through this training and gotten results. So I want you to remember and really just take a second to believe that this is your time to start getting the clients and the customers that you deserve. Because sometimes we have a little bit of a mental block, right? We think maybe our idea is not good enough. Maybe we're not good enough. I've been there too. And the truth is you just need the right opportunity in front of you. And Pinterest is an exceptional platform to be getting your products and services in front of your ideal demographic. So in the first module, I'm going to show you all the basics, including giving you a quick start action plan to get you up and running in no time. I'm going to show you how to properly set up your business account and even how to use, everything in place like the new look so that you can get access to the Pinterest analytics. I'm going to give you step-by-step tutorials of basic functions to eliminate the overwhelm. You do not need one more thing added to your plate, so we're going to keep this really straightforward and simple. In the second module, we're going to talk about why your business should even be on Pinterest, including a system that I use for working less and making more with social media. I'm going to give you my 3 secret SEO strategies to get you more sales, and a simple strategy for using Pinterest to become a leader in your industry. The third module is all tutorials on how to create powerful pins, including the most common mistakes to avoid while pinning, what you need to do to get your pins on people or your products on people's shopping lists, how to protect yourself from legal and copyright issues, something a lot of people are concerned about, we'll be covering in this module. And module 4 is all case studies, so that you can get an inside peek at the best ideas and practices from other brands, both small and large businesses. Learn how to easily leverage and get tons of exposure and sales. I want to show you how the mega brands are cashing in with their accounts so that you can take away some of those strategies as well. The 5th module is all about branding, how to tap into millions of new potential customers. I'll give you a board blueprint to get you tons of exposure for your brands with the right kind of board. How to sell without being salesy on Pinterest. This is really great training for those of you that don't like to sell. And module 6 will focus on how to get followers, something we didn't really get to tackle in today's presentation, but an essential part of it. I'm going to give you a surprising and a proven strategy for getting tons of followers quickly and easily. It's going to totally shock you. I'm going to show you how to turn your biggest fans into followers. And also my simple 3-step system for turning your influence into income. Maybe you have a bit of an audience, but you haven't figured out how to monetize them. We're going to be talking about all of this in Module 6. The 7th and final module is all about measuring results. Learn how to track your best pins and quickly create a strategy to increase your sales. I'm going to walk you through how to use Pinterest Analytics, the brand new free tool, and show you what to do to get results from it. I'll give you a system for collecting information that you can use to better shape and grow your business, and free tools, you heard me, free tools for measuring your results. So I went ahead and asked a beta group of people who'd gone through my course around what they thought this course should be priced at. And I said, I'm thinking about offering it for $297. Is that a good price? And people said, absolutely, $297 is a total steal. But the truth is, I wanted to offer it as a price that people just couldn't say no to, a total no-brainer. And so I offer my course at $197, a price that I feel well delivers, the value well delivers beyond the price point. But I do have a special offer for Amy's audience. Like Amy said, her and I are friends in real life. We truly are real friends. And so what we decided to do for her audience on this webinar is offer the course for $97. And when you go to powerpinning.com/Amy, you'll see over 50% off of my normal price for the 7 modules of online training. Now I'm also going to include some bonuses. And I have the URL at the bottom of the slide, powerpinning.com/Amy, where you can type it in your chat box right now so you can just click the link. But you want to also know about these bonuses. One thing I'm going to give you is lifetime access and updates. The truth is, a lot of you are very busy. You don't have time today, maybe not even this week, to go through this training. So I want to give you lifetime access so that you can log in whenever you're ready. You can log in wherever you want, as many times as you want. This training will be waiting for you at your fingertips. And I'm also including updates. So what this means is that anytime Pinterest changes something, there's a big significant change like analytics or something like that, I go in and update the course. And this is really one of the reasons why I wanted to do an online course, because I never want this training to become out of date for you. It should always be relevant and up to date so that you have the best training at your fingertips. And I'm also including printouts and worksheets. I don't know if you guys are like me, but the truth is, even though I love the convenience and the flexibility of online training, I still like to have something tangible in my hands while I'm learning. I guess I'm just an old school girl at heart, but I have included printouts and worksheets in the tops of modules 2 through 7 that you can download that have note-taking slides, frameworks, exercises to move you through the training content. So over $500 worth of value that you're getting for free as special bonus today. And I have something that Amy and I work together on. It's a Pinterest and Facebook report. So this is something that will really take your Pinterest and Facebook marketing to the next level. And it's a special bonus for those of you that go to powerpinning.com/Amy. If you've already purchased or if you purchase in the next 15 minutes, we will send you this Pinterest and Facebook report. It's online, so you'll get a link to it where you can read the PDF file. But we'll send it to you sometime in the next few days once we get all the buyers. And this is a report that you cannot find anywhere else. I'm also including a 60-day money-back guarantee so that you can go to powerpinning.com/Amy, try out this material, see if it gives you the results, see if you feel like it was worth your money, which I hope you will. But if you don't, just shoot me an email. I'm going to put my email on the last slide. I will refund your money, no questions asked. So you're getting 7 modules of the most comprehensive Pinterest marketing training, lifetime access and updates, a special workbook, 60-day money-back guarantee, and a 90-day program, which is that special Facebook training. So you might be wondering, who is this training really for? Well, it's for bloggers who are looking to get more traffic. It's for realtors who want more exposure for their listings. It's great for service providers who want to build trust and illustrate the value of their offerings. It's also great for business or product-based business owners who want to get their online products or create an online catalog they can put in front of millions of people. It also works for direct sales or network marketers if you want to get the buzz out about your business and your products. It's fantastic for building positioning and branding for authors, coaches, speakers, you name it. I've worked with a variety of business owners who've all seen all kinds of results from this training. Worked with an interior designer who's able to get more traffic and more clients to her site. A social media expert who, after building their follower base, like I teach you in Module 6, pinned their ebook and started getting dozens of sales within hours. I worked with an e-commerce owner who started to use Pinterest for her business, and she got more orders in just 1 month than she had previously gotten in the entire year. How would that feel? How would that feel to get more orders in a month than you had previously gotten in the entire year? I mean, that's pretty exciting stuff, right? I worked with May, who was really struggling. She said, I was struggling getting traffic to my site and was getting really discouraged about it. Maybe some of you were in that same place. She said, I saw the power pinning course launch. I went through it, did exactly what she said to do. And she said, I went from 25 visits a day for a year to over 1,000 visits a day in just 1 month. How awesome is that? Kimberly shared with us that her blog traffic went from 8th to 3rd from Pinterest in less than a week. Really fast results. Lisa Marie shared with us that your program is the best value in content. Laura shared that when I first joined Pinterest, I just didn't really get it. Maybe some of you still feel that way, but now I do. I want you to feel empowered and excited about your potential with Pinterest. And some more testimonials. I love this. Judy shared, on a personal note, I did debate about should I or shouldn't I purchase this tutorial versus what I can find on my own and learn for free. But I'm so glad I purchased this because it saved me a huge amount of research time I don't have and gave me lots of great tips and ideas well beyond how Pinterest works. You know, I know that all of you are very smart people. If you spent the same amount of time that I did, you could probably figure this out as well. But the truth is you don't have to. And if you want to become successful, it's not about doing everything yourself. It's about learning to stand on the shoulders of other people. If someone else has already done the work for you and just wants to give you the strategies that work, that is an opportunity to save yourself time and frustration, and that's something that you should take. Lisa shared, I got an order in less than 24 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and start that countdown time. Remember, this is for the Pinterest and Facebook special report, a full report walking you through the best ways to use your Pinterest and your Facebook platforms together to get results. Now, I know you are all here students of Amy, so you already probably have a rockin' Facebook page. I want to show you how you can use that together with Pinterest to just become a social media power player. So if you've already purchased by going to powerpinning.com/Amy, or if you purchase in the next 14 minutes and 23 seconds, how to time that just right, we're going to go ahead in the next few days after the cart closes, we'll go ahead and send you that special report. So Amy, you've been so generous letting me kind of share my information, but I want to ask you if there's any questions. I know all of you, if you have any questions, go ahead and type those in the chat box right now. Congratulations, Adele. I saw you that you just ordered. But Amy, is there anything I can address for you?
You know, gosh, that is such a great question because I've been writing my questions down as we go, and then you answer them throughout everything you've been doing. So you really, really covered a lot. You know, one thing that I know my audience, they're always asking me about is list building. And I really do believe that Pinterest is a great way to grow your email list. At least I've had some great experience with that. Would you agree with that one?
I would totally agree. In fact, that's one of the strategies I do teach inside the course is I show you a specific pin that I created that I linked to an opt-in page. And what I did, you know, a lot of times when you're trying to build a list, they teach you to have some sort of an offer, right? Whether it's a video training series or an ebook or something like that. Well, with my service-based business, I have a list of the 10 free business tools that I use. So what I did is I created a pin and I put text on it using PicMonkey. And I said, you know, here's the top 10 online business tools, and just created kind of a cool picture. And I linked it to my opt-in page. And there was this really big blogger. She had this huge, she was a female lifestyle blogger. So she taught all sorts of like fitness, design, decor, has hundreds of thousands of followers. And she repinned it, which was crazy. Yeah. And I got so many email addresses. But even if someone big doesn't repin it, when you create value like that and that sort of a little snapshot, that little enticing tidbit of what people can get by signing up for your list, and you make that a pin, people click through because they want that. And there's not a lot of people marketing on Pinterest. There's not a lot of business owners. So people aren't jaded. They're very open to signing up and receiving information. It's a very warm, friendly audience.
Yes, I'm so glad you shared that. That's exactly what I was thinking. Pinterest for me works really well. So that's such a great example. I know we have a bunch of other questions if you want to address those, but definitely, I mean, of course, thank you so much for this. I do these webinars because, one, I know my audience will love it, but there's a selfish little reason too, because I know I've got to get on board and do more with Pinterest. So thanks for always teaching me new strategies every time we do this.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. I saw a few people were kind of asking about, what are some of those other new changes we were talking about? Well, truthfully, I was so excited to learn about the new changes with the new look because there is more and more and more every time for business owners. I mean, we're really seeing Pinterest rising up and embracing business owners on this platform. I don't know if some of you remember, but about a year ago when Pinterest was picking up speed, they weren't really embracing businesses yet. In fact, they had some things in their terms of service that were saying, non-self-promotion, and they actually have taken that out of their terms of service. They've rolled out this incredible resource center for business owners that I talked about earlier, that business.pinterest.com. But also, the new look is showing more than ever that they're supporting commerce on their site. Now, on an actual pin, they have a website button. So on every pin at the top next to like or repin, there's a button that says website that people can click, and it'll take you directly to the website where that pin was pinned from. So again, another way to get a ton of traffic. Also, on the right side now of pins, this is what was unrolled with the new look. On the right side, there's now other pins from that website. So say someone pinned one of my pillows, they'll also see other pins from luxurymonograms.com. And not only my pins, but whatever other people have pinned from my website now show on the right-hand side. So it's kind of like suggested content, but it's more stuff for people to pin from your website, because if they like one thing, they're probably going to like more of your stuff. So they're just adding more ways to get your brands and your products and your website more visibility on those heavyweight straight-up pins. So right on the pin, you're seeing these additional resources for businesses. Okay, so I see Jane's asking a great question. She says, I have a personal account with a mixture of business and personal boards. Can I transfer my business boards to a new business account? It's a great question, Jane. I actually get asked this a lot. And the truth is you can't transfer a whole board. What you can do, and it's pretty easy, you can open two tabs on your computer and you can just repin whatever pins you want. You do have to do them individually, so hopefully you don't have too many pins on that board. But, if you have a handful, several, even like 20 or 25 pins, it doesn't take that long to just go through and repin them. But that's the best way right now if you want to move content from one board onto another. And then you just would delete that board off your personal account whenever you're ready. Okay, so I'm just going through. Amy, feel free to shout out if there's any other, I'm going through trying to look at people's questions. I know we have a lot of questions, so I want to make sure. Sharon's asking a great question. She's asking about contests on Pinterest. And if so, if there is a program that you like and refer us to. I actually do talk about contests inside the program. Of course I do. It's a huge thing with Pinterest, right? So I teach you about contests inside the program. I teach you exactly how to structure, what you want the steps to take, how you can really optimize, how you can use a contest. If you structure it correctly, you can use it to get a bunch of followers and also a bunch of traffic and email addresses. So that's what I walk you through, is how I suggest doing a contest so that not only do you get a bunch of people to enter, but you get traffic, email addresses, and also a bunch of followers, because you can make that one of your steps. But here's a little tidbit for everyone still listening. You never want there to be more than 3 things that people have to do in a contest. If you ask them to do more than 3 things, you will see a huge attrition rate, or a lot of people that just won't even participate because they think, I do not have time for that. I do not have time to go through and do 15 things to be entered into a contest. So I teach you how to keep a contest very straight to the point, but with tons of value as a business owner, and that's inside the course that you have access to by going to powerpinning.com/Amy. And I do want to let you know what to expect. When you go to powerpinning.com /Amy. You'll just fill out your credit card information. You'll go ahead and put in all that good stuff. And then I'm going to send you an email. Within a few minutes, you'll get an email automatically that'll have you set up your username and password. So you'll create that, and then you'll use that to log into the site. So really within 5 minutes, you can have access to the entire online training course. So you don't have to wait for anything to arrive in the mail. There's nothing like that. Your workbook, your PDF files, all of that is inside the Power Pinning course. So you'll use that username and password that you created. You'll log into the site, and you'll see in the top left all your bonuses are there. Across the top, you'll be able to see modules 1 through 7. And I really suggest just starting with 1 and working your way through to 7. There's about an hour's worth of content in each module, sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more, depends on what we're talking about. You know, the first module, getting you set up, creating those business accounts, converting, if you want to link different accounts together. We teach you how to do all of that in module 1, so there's a good amount of stuff, but really it shouldn't take you more than a few hours to go through the bulk of this information the first time, and then you can just go back and watch the videos as you please. Something I suggest for the first few modules is just you can watch the training in one window, have your Pinterest account open in the second window, and I walk you through, I do everything live on, or not live, but I do everything on screen with you. So you can watch me, what I'm doing, how I'm setting up the account, how I'm linking things, how I'm adding pins and creating boards, and you can do that right along with me. Okay, I love it. So Maggie asked a great question. She said, I was so busy ordering. When did you say the ebook would be mailed? And I heard you say something about a lifetime update that Pinterest, if Pinterest changes. Thanks. Absolutely. First of all, congratulations, Maggie. It's so great to have you as one of our members. And I want to let all of you members know I am available to you inside the membership site. So below every single video, there's a questions area where if you have a question, you can type it in there, hit submit, and I go in about once a week and I will go through and answer questions. But also, some of the videos have hundreds of responses or feedback below them of ideas or things they're going to try or possible suggestions or questions. And a lot of times you can just read through the questions of previous members, and there's a lot of good information in there as well. But I want you to know that you do have access to me inside of there. So if you have something, a hurdle you want to need some help getting over, I can absolutely spend that time and give you that one-on-one attention. But in terms of that special ebook, the Pinterest and Facebook marketing ebook, what we're going to do is wait for all the buyers. So probably we'll wait for about a week so we can go ahead and close the cart, get everything good. And as soon as we do go ahead and close that cart, it's up to Amy when she wants to close it, then we'll go ahead and mail out or email out that email report. And you'll get that Pinterest and Facebook marketing report. It's a really good one. Lots of screenshots. It'll walk you through step by step how to integrate the two platforms together. Really cool. Oh, I'm so glad.
Oh, go ahead.
I have so many people. You have such a wonderful, wonderful audience, Amy. Like lots of people that really just learned a lot of stuff. I love Gretchen said that so many are full of fluff, but you provided a full hour plus of great information. Looking forward to the module. So thank you, everyone. That I know an hour out of your day is no small offering. So I am just so honored. This is really, my heart is to serve and to teach and empower other entrepreneurs. So it has been, thank you for giving me that gift of being able to be here and teach today.
Perfect. That was exactly what I was going to say. I love what Marcy said. Marcy says, great training, best practical advice I've obtained. Ordered. Fantastic. Marcy, welcome to the program. You're going to love it for sure. There's so much great feedback. I know that so many people just are saying they're so excited, can't wait to get started. This is great info, best webinar ever. So, Melanie, people are loving this content, and they love the way you train. A lot of people said Melanie's the best teacher ever. This is just fantastic. So, again, thank you so much for spending all this time with us and really making sure everyone understands exactly how powerful this tool is.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. I can't thank all of you enough for having me here and letting me share my message and share, what I've experienced. And really, my goal is to not just teach things that I don't use, but really teach you what I'm doing in my businesses and what I'm seeing across thousands of business owners, what's working for them. Just kind of eliminate the fluff and overwhelm and get to the good stuff. So I just want to let everyone know there's 2 minutes and about 24 seconds left to go ahead and get that Pinterest and Facebook marketing bonus for buying at powerpinning.com/Amy.
Someone had a great question. They said, you know how when you taught in the training about the dollar sign and how that created, that little price thing?
Yeah.
I'm totally, okay. What about the idea of putting the word free in there when something does not cost something? How do you feel about the word free in your pin?
Yeah, that's a great question. Some people ask me that if I put 000 or free as a banner, they won't let that show up. I think there has to be some sort of a currency. There used to be able to do 000, but I think they took that away because I didn't want people doing the free banner. So you can't do that, but you can put free in your caption. And I think, and I know research shows us when you tell people it's free, they're more likely, like even if you put free where you have an email opt-in, if you put it's free, it tends to increase the amount of people that will sign up. So I think you can absolutely use free in your captions to get more people to engage and to click through.
Great. Perfect. That's fantastic. Someone earlier asked, can you start
$1 sale.
Yeah, what did you think of that $1 sale?
Absolutely, yeah. Any currency above 0 you could definitely use.
Oh, great. Perfect. And someone asked, can I create a Pinterest board all about my podcast? And I thought that was a great idea, especially, and you can use this across any media, I think, but if you have different episodes, like a podcast, which are becoming really popular again, you can create different images for each of your interviews or each of the topics of your podcast and pin those. So then people can look at this board and see all the different topics you're talking about, click on the one they want to hear. This is just one more way to get a bigger audience for your podcast. I thought that was a great idea.
I love that. I think that's really, really smart. Again, just more ways to distribute your content. If you're going to put the time and energy into writing a blog post or filming a video or, filming or recording a podcast, you want to get that content out across as many platforms as possible because some people are going to be on Facebook. Some people are going to be on Pinterest. The people are going to be all different places, and you want to be able to get your message and your information to them. And I just want to clarify, the timer has run out. A few of you were asking. It's got to be Power of Pinning, not just Power Pinning, but powerofpinning.com/Amy. And I'm going to go ahead, if you're on the checkout page right now, we'll go ahead and honor your order. Just make sure you finish up, and we'll make sure that you're added to the list of people who are going to be sent that bonus Facebook and Pinterest report.
Perfect. All right. So looks like we're going to wrap it up. But again, everybody, unless you want to jump in here, I'll let you say your parting words, Melanie. But I just want to thank you again for being here. And thank you, everybody, for taking time out of your crazy busy schedule to get on live. You're just like Melanie and I in the sense that we love to be on live and part of the action and get, ask our questions. And I think it just really adds to the whole experience when you take the time to be here. So thank you so, so very much for taking the time to check out this webinar. And if you are now part of Power of Pinning, welcome. I know Melanie is going to take such great care of you. I do not promote things that I do not believe in, that I've experienced, and that I love myself and I've used for my own business. And Power of Pinning is one of those. So you are in great hands. And again, Melanie, thank you so much for being here.
Amy, the pleasure is all mine. I just want to ask one last thing. If you did take the leap and decided to join me as a member of the Power of Pinning, go ahead and type in the chat box right now just yes or I did or whatever you want to write. Just type that in there because I want to make sure I acknowledge and give people a shout out. I won't be able to read everyone's names because obviously Amy has such an amazingly large audience, but I want to just say thank you to Deanne and Nikita, Monica, Erica, Sharon, Jill. These female entrepreneurs were rocking it out. Adele, but I even see Steven decided to sign up and Sean. Sean wrote Yesaru, love it. Dana, Brittany, John, love the men. You men are more than welcome as members. We love having you there. You're smart men for being there. Melissa, Catherine, Amy, Joy, Janet, Carolyn, Dara, Kay, Deanne, Bev, Ed, Christy, Bart, Deanna, Arby, Jewel. Again, so many people. Stephanie, Gail, Lindy, Karen, Sharon, Susan, Elvin, Katrina, Jeannie, Jerry, Claudia, Jane, Mia. Woo! I need to take a breath here. Fred, Kimber, Richard, Kim, Trudy, Stephen, Elaine, Katie, Rory, Scott, Michelle, Patricia, Kate. I mean, tons and tons and tons of you. DeVelle, Victoria. I can't read off everyone's name, but I really do want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I am so thrilled to have you as a member. It's an incredible community. You're going to really enjoy being a part of it. And I really hope that you can use this information to empower you and to become a real Pinterest marketing success story. I love featuring my students as success stories, and I want to commend you for making the right decision and joining our community at the Power of Pinning.
Fantastic. I am just so excited for everybody who signed up. I cannot wait to hear about all of your successes, and have just a wonderful time in the program. You're going to love every minute of it. And again, like I said, Melanie's going to take great care of you. So Melanie, thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Amy. It's been a pleasure to be here.
All right, everybody. Have a great one, and we'll talk soon. Take care.